Take three. I finally did it. Didn't forget it. It's yeah, that place that I was talking about in the last video. It's called Tradewinds Airport Hotel. They're not a good place to go if you're expecting polite, welcoming receptionists or a very welcoming greeting towards you as a service dog towards both you and your service dog. I went in, well, my boss called ahead first, and he told me that when he called ahead to pay and make the reservation, it didn't go too well. But to still go in, because he had a travel voucher that he might be able to get, that I might be able to get download onto my phone to go and get a room there. So we didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it. Me and Suli, who is currently snarling in her dreams, I'm assuming she is chasing rabbits or something, being a wolfie in her dreams. But me and her walked in, and the lady asked if we had a reservation. You know, she was kind of cheery and kind of nice. She was nicer than the other lady that came up to us not long after. But she asked us if we had a reservation. I said yes. It's under Mills, Samantha Mills. And she says, "Oh yeah, we have a reservation right here." And I asked her if I could borrow the Wi-Fi for a second so that I could call my boss, because he said that he might have a voucher that I could use to get a discount. And she says, "Okay, yeah, here's the Wi-Fi." And I went, was about to go sit down, and this other lady comes behind me. It's an older woman, not too much older, maybe in her maybe mid to late 40s or early to late 40s. But she came up and she's like, she looks and she gives this little, like, you know that face that some people give to service dogs and their handlers? And she's like, "Is that a service dog?" I said, "Yes, it is." And we turn around and we go sit down, and she's like, "Oh, if it's a service dog, she needs to be vested, and you need to have paperwork and proof of registration for her saying that she's a service dog. Otherwise, it's $100 deposit on a room because we aren't pet friendly." I said, "Well, she's not a pet. She's a working dog. She's doing her job. She's under control. She's not like some of these little foofy fucking rats that you get in here that are running around barking at people that wear a vest." Which is why vests don't make a difference to begin with. Because you get people that put vests on their little chihuahuas and shit. Or heck, even big dogs too. And they'll bring them in and they're like biting at people, barking, and taking pisses and shits in lobbies. So like, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is a vest gonna make a difference? It's just not. Neither is a registration, because those things are fake as fuck too. They're just promotions for people with fake service dogs and ESAs, which don't have public access to begin with because it's not a trained service dog. Just to have fucking terrorize people. They get these things. They pay for them. You can literally pay $79 right now on a website that says register your service dog or ESA today, and you'll get a tag, a card, and a piece of fucking paper. And sometimes you can get the little flimsy vests that all they do is act as markers. They're not really vests, they're just markers that says service dog or ESA and all that bullshit. Like, literally, go online right now I say right now, but I mean like right now as you're watching this video, search up those websites and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then also the ADA says registration isn't a thing. You don't have to do that. Most service dogs don't even come with papers. No training papers, no nothing. No card, no tag, no shit. The only thing that some of them even come with is a vest. But some of them don't even come with that because they're optional. And you can go and buy one yourself. They go as cheap as $15, and it's expensive if you're going for a really good one. It's like over $100. So $15 to like $100+ for a vest you can go and buy yourself. I mean, literally. So like vests are optional. I mean, of course you can buy those yourself because service dogs don't require them to begin with. You know, but if you choose in the future, yeah, I want to get a vest, you can go and get a vest. If you run into problems like that, which you shouldn't have to resort to submitting into someone and going and just doing that. That's like, you know, you don't have to wear a vest on your dog, but I mean, I understand why some people want to get a vest because it avoids problems. But it's just, if people would follow the law, it wouldn't be a problem. And if these stupid, I hate to be so hateful. I don't like being hateful, but I can't help it. But when I say I hate these fucking fake ass service dogs and ESA animals, if you train your dog, I wouldn't be so fucking pissy. But the fact that these untrained, misbehaving, stupid little shits make us look bad is just not acceptable. And this is why places like this are the way they are. Because you've got people doing that. But she was really rude. Really rude. I'm like, no, my dog does not need that. It's not required by law. And she's like, well, it's our policy. It's our company policy. I'm like, I don't care. Your company policy goes against the very regulations that protect me and my dog. I mean, it's supposed to be an equal thing. I'm supposed to be just as equal to a person that's normal that doesn't have a service dog. I'm supposed to be just as equal to that. But I'm not. Because I have her. And it's not her fault. And it's not my fault. It's these people that run around with little foofy fucking rat dogs. These fucking chihuahuas. These little fucking, like, little Pomeranians and heck, even big dogs that you see, like, running around and, like, on extendable leashes, or, I mean, retractable leashes, and just barking and nipping and pooping and peeing and just generally causing a disturbance. A real service dog, if I went into public and Sully had a freak out, or if she had like a whoops moment, and she started raising Cain and barking at somebody, I would get kicked out of somewhere. I would get kicked out. And the ADA says that's okay. If the service dog handler does not have control over their dog, and the dog is causing a disturbance, I can get kicked out. See, I can understand that. If your dog's having an off day, you know, when they say, hey, you know, your dog can't be doing that, either get control of your dog or you gotta go. That's understandable. But when you've got these little dogs that run around that have these fake papers, people use them as leverage into taking their pets to the store, or taking their pets into motels and into places that they're not allowed, but a service dog is allowed. It's not okay. But back to what I was saying about the hotel, I mean. When I was there, I was like, I tried explaining it. I tried being polite. I was trying to be sincere and understanding that they, just generally might be accidentally ignorant, not by fault, but by complete, like genuine ignorance, just unknowing. Like, I can see that. I can understand that if it was that way. But this was purposeful ignorance. Not wanting to know the law. Not wanting to follow it. And just generally not care about it. If they've been okay, we get that. I'm sorry. I'm not the one that makes these rules. We have to follow our policy that the company gives us, but I will bring it up in the future that this needs to be changed. I would have been really happy if that was the end result, but it wasn't. It was not the end result. The end result was they got snippy with me, and I went up there and I asked, because my boss texted me, he's like, don't worry about it. I got a Motel 6. Motel 6 is real cool about service dogs. And they don't mind pets, apparently, I guess. He's like, yeah, there's a Motel 6 maybe a mile and a half down the road. You'll be walking for a minute, but at least it's better than that place, because I wouldn't want to deal with that place at all. So, I went up to the front desk, I'm like, look, which direction do I need to go to get into the Motel 6? Because my phone's not letting me. My phone wasn't allowing me to look up the directions. And she's like, oh, there's a one right now. I don't know, like, where one is at. I'm not from this area. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to go to a Motel 6 because my boss said that he just found a place that's actually service dog friendly and that knows the laws on service dogs and that understands that. And, so she's like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, we have to do that because, we're not pet friendly and we have to, like, do all that to make sure no pets come in here. And I said, well, it's pretty stupid to think that making it mandatory for the registrations and the vests is gonna fix your no bringing pets problem. Because I will say, lots of people use those sites to get cards for their pets that are not trained. And vests can be bought anywhere, online, in thrift stores, sometimes even in pet stores like PetSmart and Petco and all those places. You can buy those on some of those websites. They might not be in shelves on stores, but they're on the websites. I hope you know that. And she's like, well, and I'm like, no, it's not, it's against the law, and it's not fixing your problem, because I guarantee you got people coming in here with yappy little fucking dogs that are wearing vests, but they have a card or papers on them. And she's like, okay, well, are you done? I said, yeah, I'm done. And I'll make sure to make this known. And that nobody with a service dog or anything comes here. And if anyone with any common sense that isn't even a service dog handler even considers coming here, they won't. Because this is a pretty shitty place and this is shitty service. And I walked out. So, I walked out and me and her we walked to the Motel 6. And when we got here, we walked in the door. I got a smile. She says, hi, how are you? Do you have a reservation? I'm like, yeah, it's under Samantha. And she's like, Mills? I said, yes, it's Mills. And she's like, oh yeah, we got the reservation for you. I just need you to sign a couple of things and you can go right up to your room. I didn't even have to mention that she was a service dog at all. She didn't even bother asking. She mentioned she's really sweet and she's really well behaved. I said, yeah, I know, she's supposed to be, thank you. And she's like, service dog? I said, yep, sure enough. And we're just getting ready to fly out tomorrow, so we had to have a place to go. And I said, that place down the road, about 1.5 miles, wasn't too friendly. She's like, which one? I said, the, what was it? I just had it. Something airport. I told her what it was. But she's like, yeah, we get a lot of people that come down here and say that they weren't the best in terms of friendly service. So that I know because I experienced it firsthand, and they really do have shitty service. Heck, even there was a guy next to me and they're like being total shitbags to him. And like he walked away. He's like, I'm just gonna go to get a room somewhere else. He walked away and she's like, yeah. She looked at the lady, she's like, yeah, when someone comes in here and just does that, you say this. And have them do all this because, you know. And I'm like thinking to myself, y'all, you are some stupid, greedy, just general snappy looking acting bitches. Like, y'all are the meanest, rudest, worst kind of people ever. And with the worst attitudes ever. How did y'all get a job working customer service? Like, I don't get that. How did you get this job? What, does the company just not care who they hire? Do the people that run the company, are they the same way? Like, really? That's stupid. What the fuck is wrong with you? But no, like, I can't help but have to make it known, and I know plenty of other handlers have done it too. This whole fake service dog thing needs to stop. If you don't have something wrong with you, you don't need one. And if you do have a hidden disability, don't just take your pet out and do all that. Train the damn thing. Training is what makes a service dog. Because then they know how to task. They'll tell you when something's about to go wrong. They'll help you. But when you go about, like, you know, just not training, no training at all, that dog's not helping you at that point. It's a nuisance, not only probably to you, I mean, maybe not to you, but I would think so, because you're getting drunk around the store and embarrassed. I mean, how can you not be embarrassed when your dog is making a scene in a store? But it's not only a problem for you, but it's a disgrace to the entire service dog community. It's just, you know, I don't get how people can allow themselves to look like such shit bags and make their dogs look like total dicks too. How can you do that? I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all. Why? Why do that? Why bother? But no, but that was the place that I was talking about. And if you have any common sense about where to go and where not to go, and know how to take very reasonable advice, I would say, please Like, please do not go to this place. Do not waste your time, because that's exactly what you're gonna do, is waste your time. I mean, Jesus Christ, $100 registration, room fee, just because your service dog doesn't have a vest or papers that aren't required by law and are illegal to ask for. But I'm gonna put it down in the description below, what the two websites, ADA, the one, like I said in the last video, I'm gonna put the general homepage that you get that lists that reads off, the laws and regulations, all that stuff. And then if you ever get confused, because I know some people like me, they read that stuff and they get lost in like the long description of each, part 1, section A type shit. And so I'm going to also include the part of the ADA's website that gives a list of all their commonly asked question and answers that they get. And then I'm also, like I said in the last video, going to include the name and location of this hotel. That way you know where it's at and you know not to go to it, because I wouldn't recommend it at all. It's not a place to go. So I gotta get some sleep. I gotta be up at 5. Excuse me. And I gotta be at the airport by what time to be at the airport? I'm gonna go with 7. That way I can just walk Suli around for like 30, 45 minutes. Make sure she goes OUT. And yeah. And then that gives me plenty of time to get checked in and all that. But yeah, I'm going to include that stuff in the description below. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, what do y'all think about these fake, this fake service dog trend and this ESA dog trend that's going around? Like, like I said, in my opinion, if they were behaved, I wouldn't tell the difference. But when you've got one with a vest or without a vest that's running around yipping and yapping and nipping and begging and running around like it's a fucking party, that's when I draw the line. Like, if your pet was trained and wasn't doing that, was walking at your side and being completely content and okay with what you were doing and the things that were going on and not doing anything to anybody or paying attention to anything or anybody, and I wouldn't mind it. But the fact that people allow untrained, completely unruly animals to just go like having fun in public, it's just not okay. And I need to know y'all's thoughts. If y'all agree, yay, people on my side. If not, why? Why don't you agree? What's the problem with it? And if you enjoyed this video and you don't ever want to go to the motel that I just talked about, and you don't like fake service dogs either, leave a like on this video. If you are gonna go to that place or don't like this video, well, just don't like the video. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's just, it's still views. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in the morning. I will make a morning routine video, and then we're gonna go get on the shuttle, and then we're gonna go to the airport, and that will be that. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow then. Good night.